Hello, everyone. Hi, everybody in the world today. So, today is December 31st here in the Philippines. So, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So, that would be 7 p.m. Central Time. So, that's on the December 30. Okay. So, I go early first because I have so many things that I would like to thank you. Okay, so I would like to shout out to my members, Scott in the world. I see it. Thank you so much, Scott, for still continuing do on my membership and also to Shuffle and Puts on the Boots, B and Z Network. Thank you so much, guys. And of course, my one and only, my hero, my confidant, my best friend, my husband, Frank Tate. And then Margs Makes Vlog and Miss Money. Thank you so much, guys. And of course, I would like to shout out also to Sharon Lapu-Lapu, Getche Lyons Journey, 53 Shades Darker in the Philippines, and who else? Sunshine Shoulder, Jerome, or Average Man Unplugged. So thank you so much, guys. And this is what I noticed that uh, the days move so fast, and it's just like recently that we celebrate New Year's, but now we're on the New Year's countdown celebration. So my subject for today or night in your time is good memories and sad memories. So I know a lot of you that there's a good side memories and sad memories. So I want also to share this with you, my good and sad memories for 2023. And also like some other people that part of my life, and you can share also your experience, or your good and sad memories for those people on the live chat. Oh my goodness, guys, I went to the supermarket yesterday. The line was so long, and especially in the hypermarket, they're running out of carts. So imagine, uh, the people are love, Filipino. This is the Filipino style, last 2 minute shop. Okay. And it shows that, of course, the on yesterday. So I talked to the cashier that, oh, the sales of hypermarket was so uh big, or because they're running out of cart because a lot of cart is used. So I just get some few things because before the last Christmas Eve, I already bought some meat, and then I just go yesterday to get some few ingredients that I need for my menu later. So I have so many. How many lists menu that I write it? So maybe six. Okay, but it's just like a small portion, just for two-person. Okay, so I don't want to cook more than two-person. And well, it's so hard also, to find, because until now, the problem about the modernization of jeepney. So they just until today, because they have to go to modernization type of jeepney. So the jeepney is not literal, the traditional jeepney is no longer like that. It's just like when you look at, the modern jeepney, it's just like a minibus. But it's just like I already ride on the modern jeepney, but it's comfortable because some air conditioned, some they don't. So, but I still enjoy, I still enjoy the traditional jeepney. The problem is some of the jeepney owner, they don't really there's a lack of maintenance of their unit. So I think that's the uh, reason why the LTFRB that really wants to implement the modern jeepney. So that's well, yesterday I saw news that there's a lot of, especially in Quezon City area, a lot of jeepney drivers do rally, to stop the modernization of jeepney. Some they already cut, okay, but some they don't. So I hope that they will change their mind, because I realize also that's also for the safety of the passengers, because I saw a lot of, especially here on my area, some jeepney is really, it's really old, need to replace. So, and then yeah, 'cause it's been a long time that the modern jeepney was uh, announced. And then, well, still a lot of Filipino jeepney drivers still into the traditional. But for me, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the traditional jeepney. But the only problem is some owner, there's a lack of maintenance. You can say, oh my God, it's really, in Tagalog term is bulok. It's so you don't scared of the on the thing on the street, but you scared about is this safe to ride. My goodness. So that's the problem also. So well, it's just like the modern jeepney is that part of Philippine history. Okay, it's just like the Kalisa. So when Kalisa and then the jeepney, the traditional jeepney came, and then now they really want to um change to a modern jeepney. And then I don't understand why they called it. I thought that it's really looked like a jeepney, okay, jeepney, but it's not. It's like I mentioned that it looked like a minibus. Minibus, but it's not literal look like a jeepney. No, it's not. Because I went to somewhere in Montalban, so I just ride on the modern jeepney. So that's it looks like a minibus. Oh, this is refreshing. This is so good. My new orange. No, my new juice. So this is combination of Later, I will tell that later. Okay, guys, so let's gonna start. So I already have my introduction. Introduction. So, well, after this, I'm gonna swamped. Okay, to preparing, the menu because I have. Okay, I'm gonna cook. Okay, so uh, chicken, roast chicken. Okay, so that's my style because Filipino style. Okay, with the lemongrass inside and leeks. Okay, and then maybe barbecue. I I I want to make my California maki. I love that. Okay, California maki, pancit, spring rolls. What else? Um, and then I'm gonna saute vegetable 6, and then dessert fruits. Maybe I gonna make a Filipino dessert. So I have eight eight menus for a New Year's Eve. But just a small portion, just only for two person. Hi, Canadian bread and Filipino honey. Thank you for coming, Canadian. And then, of course, the martini Asti. That's our, that's we're gonna me and Frank. We're gonna drink that for the 12 midnight. So the other champagne, because champagne, when you say it's champagne, it's literal from France. Okay, so this one is, it's this still the same. Okay, but this is made in Italy, Italia. But it's the still the same because when you say champagne, that's automatically made in France. Okay, that's their you cannot say champagne from Italy or from other part of Europe. Okay, but when you say champagne, automatically that's made in France. But my goodness, this is the guys, this is the thing here. I don't know in your country, guys, because like there's all holidays, like now is New Year, so all the round fruits. Okay, the round fruits it's costs a lot. Okay, because Filipino, there's a belief that when once you have a 12 12 round fruit, your entire year will be fruitful. Okay, that's that's Filipino belief. In we get that from Chinese belief. Okay, so the cost of that, oh my god, double the price. All right, and then especially, okay, so uh, Christmas, all the Filipino food, like like making dessert, the price goes up. And then if it's Halloween, all the food that Filipino cook for the Halloween, the price goes up, particularly flowers. Because Filipino, we always go to the to the cemetery, bring some flowers to our to our um family that passed away. But the price, the price is boom, up, up to the ceiling. So that's that's the problem. Because here's the funny, guys. Here's the funny, guys. Uh, February 14, that's Valentine's Day. Okay, so the one piece of red roses, for regular day, is just like worth 150. The big one. But if it's Valentine's, the price is double, sometimes more. So that's they take advantage, so they cannot really maintain the price whether there's there's a holidays or there's a occasion, so they take advantage for that, to price increase on the especially holidays. So after this, I'm but I enjoy, it doesn't matter for me because, I have 8 menus, just only me and Frank, my goodness. So you're gonna well, I'm gonna share that maybe on a, in a I do a film that on my video, okay, to share with you guys what food, because Christmas, just like a few foods that I prepare. Okay, so our diet is very, it's very light on Christmas. Last Christmas, so now I have, combination of chicken and pork. I really, avoid, I don't know. When I get older, I feel that, before I love to eat steak, and then I don't know also to myself that it suddenly changed my 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 appetite when it comes to beef. So I'm not really into the onto the on the beef, because I don't know, maybe because of my my hormones starts to imbalance. So I'm gonna be busy later. And for those who wants to join, so I post the link, okay, the link on the comment section. So feel free, just share your, share your good and sad memories. Okay. So let's start. Uh, which one I gonna start? The good or the sad? Hmm. Okay. So maybe I will start, the sad part. Sad part. So the sad part that I experienced, because a few hours, it's gonna be 2024. Okay. So number one is my visa thing. So I've been waiting that, I prepared everything for that. And of course it costs a lot of money, to apply for that. I well prepared, you know. But sad to say that it never, the luck is not on my hand. So I never got, my tourist visa. But whenever stuff, for applying for that, until I get that. So that's the sad part, that I don't really expect that, because I have confidence in myself, that all the question that the consulate asked me, I answered. And I don't understand why this consulate turned me down with no reason. Okay, so you cannot ask after the interview, and then he said that, sorry ma'am, I can't give you the visa. And then he just called the other, the next. So you have no chance, to ask why you did not uh you know turn me down. And then I also did not really pursue that, because I don't want that if I ask, they're gonna make that excuse, to us, that they're gonna turn me down again. So I don't really understand about why these things happen. So that's sad part. But I realized, I think there's a reason. It's not, it's not for me. I mean, it's not that, it's not that right time, to have that. Okay. Because I don't want myself, to depressed about that. So it's just like when I hear that, I'm so, all, it's just like all the world, cover my, but I have no choice, just to, accept the fact that, just move on, try and try until you succeed. So I don't want to really think about that, because I don't want to affect that, because once you're depressed, it really affect your health. So I don't want my husband worry about me. Okay. And of course I don't want also to get sick. So I just, okay, so better luck next time. So that's my my position in life, that okay, if they not for me, okay, so try and try. So that's the my my opinion about that. Never, never give up. Okay. So number two, the sad, well, it just, just a few. Actually, I have so good memory, so I just only maybe two. Yeah. Okay, that's the number one, that my visa. Okay, number two is my husband's little brother passed away before, before the Christmas. So that's the sad, the sad thing. Our Christmas is not really merry. Okay, it's not really merry because of what happened to my husband's little brother. Okay, so, and I don't want to, to do something that my husband make happy or what, because I know that, deep inside his heart he's mourn. So I just let. And good morning, Gichilaya. So, and I understand, and understand. So that's the main thing, that once you're, if there's something happen in your, in your husband or your wife family, the best thing that is just to understand, to understand. So I don't, as you can notice, guys, that on my video, okay, on my video, that the Christmas dinner eve, just only myself, because I also give, I also respect the privacy of my husband because of what happened to his little brother. So I'm sure that a lot of you will, will intrigue about that video, that he's not included on the video, because that's the reason. And I understand that on my husband's part. So Gitchi Lions, you can share your experience, what good and sad memory that you encounter for the 2023. Okay. So that's for the whole year. That's the sad thing, that I really I really undergo, or I've been through. But just like, that's life. That's what all people say, that's life. So you have to move on. Okay. Okay, so let me read this. From Gitche Lion's journey, I have suffered from depression. Much of the time, I can relate. Yeah, but that's that's why also the thing about my visa thing, Gitche Lion. So I don't really want to think that, but it's just like it's just like uh uh when I feel when I hear that I can't imagine, because it's not a joke waiting for 5 months just to have an interview, and then you're well prepared, and then it's easy for this man that turned me down. So the whole world was put down. Okay, but and I don't want also to affect that on my mental health. Okay, because once a person is depressed, it's easy to get, or it's easy to a person to have illness. Okay, anxiety attack, or anxiety, or so I don't want that, because I have a good husband. So just like I said, let's move on, proceed to another chapter of your life. So now I'm not really affected, because I'm not really into that thing deeply in my heart, because I understand that not all, but try first, second, third, but it's just like the problem is it costs a lot of money, wasting money. So because this is the thing that once I'm so depressed, it this is what I notice about myself. Once I really depressed, I suffered from depression. My body, it's easy, it's so fast to turn down. So I don't want to happen that. I don't want. So that's the only two sad memories that I experienced on 2023. So, and let's proceed to the good memories. Oh my goodness, I have so many good memories that I for 2023. So first, the government announced that we no longer use the face shield, the face mask. Okay, so it's voluntarily, so it's up to you if you want if you want to wear or not. But wow, it's just like, oh, I can so that's a good good feeling that is no longer like that. But because imagine for the past 2 years, especially here in Metro Manila, you have to use face mask, and then face shields. So it's really there's a lot of things that bother on your face. Okay, especially if you're me, I'm wearing eyeglasses. So a lot of things in your face that bothered. So that's the first one that, oh, hallelujah. So I feel happy that the government announced that uh the face shields, and then the face mask is no longer um it's no longer mandatory, but it's just like voluntarily for for those Filipino. So, and then number two is when I went to a driving school, okay, and I'm so surprised that Sharon told me that she never went to uh, written exam about getting the driver's license, but here, my God, so when I go to driving school, I have to seminar for 1 week. I no, theoretical seminar 3 days. Okay, so that would be uh 15 15 hours. So I have to take exam. Okay, you have to take exam. So if you cannot pass, go for another theoretical exam. So thanks God that I passed for that. And then once I apply for my student permit, so I enrolled. And then when I pass the driving lesson, and then I have to apply for my non-proof, because here in the Philippines we have three types of driver's license: student permit, non-professional driver's license, and the third one is professional. Okay, so I need to apply for after the student, I need to apply for non-professional. So again, another exam. So I have to take written exam and then practical exam, to driving. So a lot of study about about that, but thanks God that I pass. And when it comes to practical, practical driving, and this is so funny because the car, because I just rent the car from LTO. Okay, and the car is not really well conditioned, and I don't really like to drive that the car from LTO, because it's not good. Unlike in in driving school, so I enjoy driving the car. So well, believe myself, believe my skills, so I passed that. But the the examiner told me that ma'am, you have to practice more on the driving, your driving skill. So and then I passed, and then I got my Philippine non-professional driver's license, because before you proceed to professional, you have to wait for 5 years. Okay, 5 years. So after 5 years, that's the time that you can apply for professional driver's license. So I have time, I have time to practice my driving skills. And this is yesterday we went to Toyota dealer dealership. So it's near on my place before we go to the hypermarket. Wow, the price is wow. So I'm quite a bit excited, at the same time nervous, because I have to undergo a schedule for road test of the car that I really want. I really want to buy, because Frank he told me that he will buy car for me. So I'm still looking the model of the car that I really want. I really want to drive. Okay. So that's the second one. And then of course, third, this year my channel was monetized, because uh, 2022, it's just like I'm not really focused on doing live streaming or go to collaboration. and then do interview. I'm not really into that. It's just like on my channel, just 1 year, just just upload or do a premiere, and that's it. So I'm not really focused on 2022. So I'm not really focused on my channel, and but 2023. So I focus about that. So after a few few months on 2023, so I got monetized, and of course, and I am happy also that some of generous viewers, or the people on the live chat sending donations. So it's easy for me to reach the two type of threshold, the 10 dollars threshold for applying for monetization, and then the 100 bucks for for the monthly salary. Okay, but it's not every month, but sometimes it depends according how many views that you get, and then the donation from the super chat or super stickers. But it's still I'm happy because after all that I've done, okay, so I received some donation from generous viewers. So it really, I'm good. I'm good with that. So the money that I got from these people who donate, and then people who donate on my PayPal, it's still there. I never touch it. Okay, I never touch it. So I'm happy, and of course, I'm happy also because that time I'm very a shy person. So I'm not introvert. No, I'm not that. But I'm a bit shy person. So it's just like when I start talking with other vloggers, I my confidence starts to level up. Okay, and I have also good experience with other bloggers that I collab, and I have also bad experience with those, other bloggers that I collab. But that's life. Okay, that's life. No big deal. No big deal for me because each of us have their own perspective in life, especially how to deal with with the YouTube social media platform. So it's not really a big deal for me. So that's the third part. And of course, I'm grateful because after the pandemic, so me and Frank, we never get sick. Okay, but it's just like it's just like it's a minor, stomach ache. It's because of the food that we eat, but we don't really end up the thing that we're end up to the to the hospital or what. Okay, so well, except Frank, but that's the one time. But it's not like the stomach ache, but it's not literal that you admitted in the hospital. Okay, so that's the uh happy thing that a lot of people that they always good health, because it's important that you always have a good health, especially when you get sick, because that's cost a lot of money. That's could cost a lot of money. So if for those for those average people, so it's kind of a hard when they get sick. Okay, so let me read this. I mean that I share about what's going on, thinking more about what I do and say. Okay, that's right. So that's that's the happiest thing that I for the 2023. And then of course our I our marriage is very it's very solid. So I don't for because we're almost 5 years married. So I don't I don't really think that some it changed. It's still it's still the same as the first year that we married. Or maybe because we're grown and we're in the right age how to understand married thing. So for those who wants to ask question, feel free. Hi Utali, Super Channel Tate. Thank you for coming, Utali. Hi Bob. How is your stay in Davao, Bob? You can join with me, Bob, if you have free time. So the link is there if you want. So I already shared, my sad and good memories. So Otali, you can join with me. Okay. So on the 12th night later, so we're gonna stay inside and okay. Hi Bob.
Hi, good morning.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas and advance Happy New Year.
thank you,
Thank you
darling.
for
Yeah,
coming.
we're back in the States now. Well, we came back a couple of days ago.
Oh, how
Mm,
long you been stay in Davao?
about 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a good stay in Davao.
It was okay. It's
Mm,
yeah, it was okay. I'm pretty much a homebody. I've already seen everything around Davao. And I we got a little house, and I wanted a nice. Most of the time, I stayed home while the family was off running, doing whatever they're doing.
mhm.
Yeah, it was okay.
So okay, so that's that's a part of my content because you can share your
Hmm.
good memories and sad memories because I already mentioned about my sad memories on the 2023.
Hmm.
So I mentioned about my visa. So I try to apply for visa, but sad to say that I was not lucky to have that. So
Mm,
I don't really want, to go to, I don't really want to think that because, I don't want to have a depression for that. So yeah, it's
I
just like,
understand.
okay. So I feel, I feel bad or I feel sad because, I've been waiting for 5 months and all of a sudden, I answered all the question, all the, all the things that I apply on the documents. It's legal, but I don't understand.
Mm,
Don't understand why this why this consulate turned me down. So I realized, okay, so if it's not for me, okay, try it again because like I mentioned that I don't want to uh have a depression for that.
I hear you. Yeah, because things like that are out of your control. There's, you
Hmm.
just have to wait. You know. Yeah. I have a niece. She's a registered nurse there in the Philippines, and she went through an agency to get to the states to come here and work as a nurse, and and she's the embassy and the all of the embassies are backed up. They're way behind schedule. So she's still waiting for her appointment to go to Manila and go for the official interview and then get issued her visa. But I have a neighbor here. He is from Bangladesh, and he
Mm-hmm.
said the same thing in the embassy in Bangladesh and India and all around, that the U.S. embassies are choked with applicants to come to America. So it's just uh, you just got to wait your turn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't really want, I don't really want to feel that, okay, this is, but it's just like life must move on. So
Yeah,
maybe there's a reason why I can't have that. So try
they.
until.
I'll give you my neighbor directly behind me. He's from Bangladesh, and he and I were repairing the fence between our two houses. Nice guy. And we are under the assumption that the embassy people around the world are for to come to America are swamped. They're choked, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a ripple effect because of the 6 million people who came across the border illegally.
Yeah, that's one thing also I
Hmm.
feel, that's one thing that I feel bad about that, Bob, because why they don't let me go there, that I have a legal documents, but those people go
Yeah.
on
Uh-huh.
that. So they allow. So, and then one thing that Philippines and United States are alliance.
Hmm.
So there's no reason, right? And
There's
now.
a there is a reason. It's because of all the illegals. That's the reason. Because now you might not understand how our laws work here with illegal and legal. Legal, you come here, you got the paperwork, you can hang out. You're good to go. The illegals, they don't just allow all of that to happen. Most of these people are going to be deported, no matter what the mass media tells you. They're going
Mhm,
to be deported back to where they come from. And they're in the process of doing that with millions of them right now.
mhm.
They're not welcome to stay here. That's how our laws are, and the laws are being enforced. And it might look from the outside that they would rather take these illegals. No, we won't. But it takes time to get them, capture them, detain them, and ship them back where they came from. And that's where they're going to go. They're going to go right back to where they came from. They're
Okay.
gone. We have detention centers all across the United States for any of them that, as soon as they break a law and get arrested for theft, for traffic violations, whatever it might be, you get picked up by local authorities, you're handed over to the government authorities, and there are detention centers where they're being held and processed and flown out of here.
Okay. So, but there's still a due process about that.
There is, yeah, there is.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's a good thing that there's a due process about that.
We really need Filipinos because you guys make up our healthcare system. Our healthcare system is probably 90% Filipinos. We need
Yeah.
you here. We need you here, and they're welcome to come here and work because they're educated. They don't cause trouble. They heal us. They're doctors, nurses, all that, and we need them. But the rest of them who are illegal, who knows what they did or why they're running away from their home country. And I'm to the point to where I don't care why you're running. You don't belong here. You fill out the paperwork just like you do, and my niece and my
Mm.
wife did. Fill out the paperwork, stand in line, and you're welcome in. But if you come across the river illegally, eventually you're going to go back to where you came from.
Oh, yeah.
There's a due
But
process. Hmm.
mhm. So I don't want to go on the on the legal thing, because no matter
Mm-mm.
what, you have no
Yeah,
security.
correct.
If something, somebody will harass you, and then you go in the legal
Hmm.
thing. So it's better to go by legal system.
Yeah. Hmm. There's also like there's Filipino. These people get free
Okay.
health care. They get a paycheck for a while. They get housing for a while, but that doesn't last forever. That's a limited time, period. And they have to go through the due process. Okay, we got you healthy. Your paycheck is coming in for now, and eventually they get the government financing stops. Now what are you going to do? You're out on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So it's better just to wait. I know it's hard on to you for you to wait. Same with my niece, but in the long run, it's much better to wait for your. And I think that's why the legal system for the embassies and the immigration system is so choked with people, because all of the illegals have to go through the same process before they get deported, and they are going to be deported. They will be.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So how about good memories, Bob, on 2023? Have you had a good
Yeah, lots of
good
them.
lots of good?
Yeah, lots of good memories. Um, well, we moved to a new house in a safer location where we're this house here. And my good memories was last summer when I finally was able to grow flowers and some vegetables, and I had a great time. I enjoyed it just sitting out on the back deck with my coffee, and my wife bought me this little speaker right here for my birthday.
Wow.
I could go on my phone and put on my YouTube playlist of music
Yeah, while
and go,
doing.
yeah, while I'm out there tending to my flowers, and those are the best times was last summer like that. It was great. I really enjoyed that.
What flower you plant, Bob?
I
Roses?
plant a lot of petunias, a
What's a
lot.
petunia? How does it look?
Oh, you have to look them up on Google. I They're seasonal, so they're all expired now, and all I've got is a bunch of empty pots. But I bought a little. Some of my I have a simple life. I'm retired, and I bought this little rotary table right here. It rotates. I put my potted flowers on there
Mm-hmm.
and sit there outside listening to music. And I have these very small pruning shears. They're like scissors, little scissors. Rotate
Okay.
the pots, groom them, maintain them, give them some fertilizer. Those are some of the best memories I've had in this place here. Yeah,
That's nice. Okay,
yeah, it
so I
is.
I have a question for you, Bob.
Hmm.
What is your opinion? Because this question is I've been asked some guests on my show. So you should, because just imagine that you are Filipino. So
Hmm.
are you considered to buy Chinese product, especially now that there's a uh problem about Philippine West Philippine Sea with the Chinese
Yeah,
government.
I've been following
So
that.
what is your opinion about are you gonna buy Chinese product?
Anytime I can buy anything else made anywhere else, I do.
Okay.
I don't support what they're doing in the South China Sea and the Spratly Islands and all that. I don't support that. I don't want to financially support that country doing what they're doing. I've been following that. Well, I have a playlist on my channel that can show you how the allied countries, and it's not just America, it's a lot of
Mhm.
other countries, are slowly, progressively moving in, stopping the Chinese from um, taking more of your land and more of the land from Vietnam. Now they've moved their boundaries almost all the way to Singapore. They're claiming it's all Chinese. They're moving it, they're making it bigger. But the allied countries, including Korea, Japan, lots of other countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, their navies and their military forces are standing their ground, and they're not allowing the Chinese expansion anymore. So I don't buy Chinese products unless I have no other choice.
Okay.
Now, what I do, what I recommend to anyone watching this, if you don't want to buy Chinese products and support the communist takeover, I go to secondhand. I go to Ukai Ukai. I buy secondhand products. They may be bought in China or made in China years ago, but that my money doesn't go to the Chinese. It goes to an American-owned business owner, not to the Chinese. That's how I
Yeah.
get a lot of my products. Yeah.
Yeah, because in my opinion, also I don't, because I prepare to buy local product, because if I gonna buy Chinese product,
Hmm.
they gonna use that money that they get from Filipino people, to use that, to make their weapons, or
Hmm.
ammunition, because, well, it's just like, uh my government is not really shown the thing about, about the issue in West Philippine Sea, but I can see, I can feel, I have common sense that, oh, this is not really, this is not really a joke, because the
It's not.
government
It's not a joke.
is, it's well prepared, because imagine, there's a for NESCA that the U.S. Government built here in the Philippines, and there's a bunch of ammunition that the U.S. government gave to my country. So
Hmm.
the thing is, I don't, because I don't want that money, our money, to use that, to kill my people. So I prefer not to buy. I prepare to buy,
Yeah.
local product, because it help also my people to.
Just remember, don't just look at what the Americans are doing. Your neighbors are doing the same thing, especially South Korea and Japan.
Yeah.
They see their expansion, the Chinese expansion, and here recently, I think it was just a few days ago, the Koreans gave the Philippine Navy a bunch of more coastal patrol vessels, armed vessels, to protect themselves. Your navy in your country is being built up by your neighbors, not just by the US, but by Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Australia, New Zealand, France, Britain. All of the
Yeah.
friendly nations are. Um, I have a playlist on my channel. Please go there. Take a look at it's called Flashpoint the Pacific, and you can look at the
Okay.
videos that I've loaded on that, and take a look at those videos and subscribe to those channels, and you'll automatically start getting international news feed to what's happening over there. Philippines is not standing alone. You've got friends, and your friends are helping.
Okay. So let me read this from Gitch Alliance. Bad Wi-Fi again. Sorry, ads
Hmm.
to went worded. Yeah, that's the problem here, Gitch Alliance in the Philippines.
Hmm.
You experience also that, Bob, when you stay in Davao. The
Yeah.
connection was so terribly bad.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so Canadian bread and Filipino Gichi. As a former cable guy, I recommend
Hardwire.
hardwiring
Mm,
and still use hardwiring now.
mhm.
Yeah, that's the problem here also. My goodness, especially that I have, live streaming, and then all of a sudden, my internet provider, it's always send me a message, sorry for inconvenience, the restoration, blah blah blah. Oh my God. It's really, it's a headache.
Mhm. But buying Chinese products, no. What I frequently do is I buy used products that are for sale by a private owner here in the United States. And if it requires repair, I repair it myself and put it into our daily use. Yeah. That's how I haven't been supporting the Chinese for a long time. I won't. I know what they're doing.
Yeah, especially when it comes, this is what I notice, Bob, when it comes to like, tools.
Yeah.
It's just like you're just wasting your money. It's just like disposable tools.
It's garbage. Hmm. Yeah.
And when it comes to food, oh, no, I don't. Because they put something there that's very harmful for your health.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't. No matter what they said, this is good or no. I prefer
No.
to buy a local local product. But
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. The same here. I've been doing that for years, darling. I'm very well aware of what they're doing globally.
yeah.
Um, One thing that really that the okay, America is Canada, U.S., Mexico, all the way down to Argentina. That's America, the whole long continent. America is fighting back against them, and I'll give you an example of recent. You, do you know how all of these foreigners get across the Mexican border? Do you know how they get to America? Most
Mm,
people have
I
never looked into it.
I
Those
have no
those
idea.
those quote Chinese fishing fleets. They are
Mm,
thousands and thousands and thousands of Chinese fishing vessels on the way to America. They're full of people, and the corrupt government of like Venezuela. They're corrupt.
mm-hmm.
They're pulling thousands of those fishing vessels onto the shorelines of America, and they're letting all these thousands of people, releasing them into America and South America, and they're told to go north, go to the Mexican border, and go across. The other day, it was just a few weeks ago, it was Ecuador, a small country of Ecuador. Their Coast Guard went out and faced down with thousands of those fishing vessels that were full of people and opened fire on them. They fought them off. So they turned their quote fishing vessels to I think it was Colombia. Yeah, they because they'll take tens of thousands of people who are known criminals from around the world and release them into Ecuador if they don't fight them off. The new world is beginning to fight them off, opening fire, direct fire on their ships and stopping them. Yeah.
So
So
that,
China's having a great time for now, but it's not going to last forever.
yeah, that's right.
Hmm. That's why the fishing vessels don't approach the coast of the United States and Mexico. We fight them off. We go out there and we fight them. And so once they hit resistance, they'll go to another location.
Mm.
What's what happened. Watch that it's called Flashpoint the Pacific
I will
on my
I will
channel.
check that later.
Yeah, please do. But
So let me read it.
all we can do
CB,
is
I don't have. Okay, go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead, Bob.
all we can do as individuals is boycott their products. Shut it out. Don't buy theirs. Don't buy it. Whatever it is, don't. That's all we can do as individuals.
Yeah, but this is what I noticed. Some people also that they don't really care about that. They don't really mind about things what's going on.
Hmm.
So that's the problem also.
they're being distracted by all sorts of other mass media BS that's distracting them, and they're susceptible to thinking that watching Monday night football is more important than being aware of your surroundings. And those are dumb people. There's billions of them,
Yeah. So that's, that's the one thing that I noticed, that, oh, instead of dealing with this kind, because I can see also that, I can see also some of my people, when I discuss about that, they have no idea what's going on.
Correct.
They have no idea. So it's just like, uh sometimes people, especially now that we have, we have open communication, like, using social media.
Hmm.
But sometimes people are, yeah, you're right, that they become lazy.
Hmm.
They just use this platform into that, for for personal intention,
Yeah.
instead of, dealing what's going on in a country. Because in my part, I'm very aware of what's going on in my country,
Hmm.
because we don't want to happen, like, the World War II. it
Yeah.
it happened. So imagine if we gonna, if there's another war, like, this is what I noticed, that from, Russia to Ukraine until now. So years over, it's still in the stage that, they still fighting. So people should must aware, not only, not only in my country, but, all over the world, that, they must aware of what's going on in their country, what's going on in the system, what's going on in the government. Because if people don't really pay attention, if there's a is a selfish greed leader, people
Hmm.
become, poor.
Yes.
So that's the problem also, that, that's why other countries, that, the people, like, here, here, majority of people here, we cannot really have a good place, to stay, because of the employment system, that we don't get enough, enough pay for the
Yeah.
whole day, because of the system, because the government allowed that, you know it's
Yeah.
just like, the top 10 or 50 top Filipino rich, they benefits, that, people, the average people, they just like, they have a hard time to get that crumbs came from the
Hmm.
table. So that's the problem also, Bob, that, people don't really aware of that system, or don't really aware of what's going on the thing, that instead of unite, well, you just, okay, especially that I mentioned, that if this person is agreed, they don't really share things with the person, how
Yeah.
to make the country better, or, people can benefits, not only a person but people. And also, like I mentioned, that, if we're gonna pick the good leader, that has concerned the people and also the country. But now it's no longer like that. It's just like, it's more on the greed. That's
Yes.
why they don't really care about the people, as long as, if they're gonna talk to other countries, that, how much money they
Hmm.
can get, that. So that's the big deal.
That's what it's all about, getting that money and filling their own pockets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So that's
it,
that's terrible.
and the greed is behind all of it, and that's well, I've been going to your country for 20 years now. 20 years. and I see it with my own eyes, that the Chinese are a large portion of your government, and they are so corrupt, and they have so much money that they can corrupt anyone, no matter how much they love their country. The politicians cannot resist that cash.
Mm,
Boom, boom. And it's so deeply rooted in your national government and business. The Chinese own all the banks in the Philippines, all of them. They own all as much, so much of the land, but that's why you guys in your country get paid so little. And it's really I don't know how to fix it, but I don't like to see it, because you guys work hard. You're well educated and you work really hard, and the Chinese are the ones who are writing out your paychecks, and you
mm,
guys only get paid enough to be able to come back to work the next day, and that's it.
yeah, because it's just like, like in McDonald's, workers work in McDonald's there in the States. The 1 crore, the equivalent of salary in 1 crore in the States, it's equivalent the manager of McDonald's here in the Philippines. So
Oh,
you
sure.
can
Yeah.
see, yeah, you
Yeah.
can see the,
Yeah.
the big difference.
Mhm.
So that's, that's the sad part of that.
It is, and I think the only thing that we as individuals can do is boycott what they own, what the Chinese own. They are so fetid and corrupt. It's sad. It is sad to see that you people work so goddamn hard every day, and they are the ones who own all of the money. And I it makes me sad to see that you guys work so hard and you get paid almost nothing because of that good old Chinese country. And that's my firm opinion, and I'll never change my opinion on that. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so that's, that's the problem that, that's the problem that need to be sit and talk with the, with the government officials.
mhm.
So I have also, I have another question also for you, Bob.
Uh-huh.
I just really want to know about your opinion for this. uh do you consider YouTube is a, is a business, or
Yes.
what is a business?
It's a business. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically a website. It's a business. They That's why they pay out so very seldom to the partners like us.
Mm-hmm.
You're now a YouTube partner. As soon as you go into partnership, you get paid almost nothing. I haven't seen a Google check for years, and I'm okay with it. I still do this just as a hobby.
Yeah, but there's, there's a lot of, there's a lot of uh particularly Filipino bloggers that I collab also.
Hmm.
And some of those, they, their opinion is not, is not a business, it's just for fun. So I don't understand. I don't understand why they say that just for fun. It's just like, okay, so what's the use putting, putting their the on their description section, putting the buy me coffee or PayPal, if it's this is not a business.
Yeah.
So that's, that's, I don't really understand why they say that that's for fun. Of course, YouTube is, it's a part of online business. It makes you, there's a fun also, but it's not really fun because it's a business. Hi, Jane Filipina. Thank you for coming, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
So I
Yeah.
don't, I don't see the logic that they said that, oh, this is not a, it's just for fun. No, it's not.
If you notice on my channel, I have no PayPal. I don't sell any T-shirts or hats.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't care if I get paid anything at all. I don't care. I don't want it. This is for a hobby, and I get enjoy to be able to talk to people on the other side of the planet directly like this. In fact, I have StreamYard, so I pay for that, but I don't get any financial return because I've got a good pension, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah. So it's just like, this is one thing also that, especially that, you're retired. Sometimes, especially, your wife going work, you just alone
Yeah.
sometimes in your house.
Hmm.
And this
Most of
kind
the
of,
time.
yeah, this kind of platform, you deal with people, to find friends. And so your loneliness is
Hmm.
not really often because of the YouTube thing.
Yeah, it does help. It does help
Yeah.
to be able to talk to people.
Hmm. To have a conversation online, so that's nice also.
Yeah.
Because you remember, when I was go to Miss Maria
Hmm.
channel. So that's why we met there,
Yes.
on Maria's.
Hmm.
So that's a good thing. And especially that, when I found out that you're married to a Filipina. So the connection, it's quite easy, because I know that, you're married to a Filipina. And then,
Hmm.
you can see something about your Filipina, the personality. So it's not for me also, to difficult, to deal with you, because I know that, you have
Yeah. I'm
a
connected.
Filipina. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
connected to a Filipina.
I'm not just trying to date a Filipina. I'm happily married. We've been a couple for 20 years, and
Yeah.
we've been married for 16 years, almost 17 years. Yeah, I'm in, you know, and you probably know that I got a little house over there that she and I are going to retire, and I do got a good question for you. Since okay, Filipino culture is, I understand a great deal of it, and I don't like some of it. I don't
Okay.
like some of it.
Like what?
Okay. Um, Thanks for asking. The part that I don't like is when we come back home or to Davao, we're surrounded by so many people, and
Oh.
that's the part I don't like. In fact, I ran into some conflict with some of them, and I forbid some of them from coming to my house. And of course, I'm the horrible guy, you know, but when I see that someone is dangerous in any area, you are not allowed to come back to my house again. End. I mean, that's my house. And I
Mhm.
had a situation with one of the nieces who was threatening my marriage. That's part
Oh.
of the Filipino culture that I don't like, is the crab mentality. Like my
Mhm.
wife was able to crawl up and get out, and there are always the relatives who want to grab her and pull her back down by breaking up our marriage. I know it. I know it. I see it. And a lot of times they'll use sex to try to interrupt our marriage. And I know it. And one of the nieces and her family, I said, "You're not coming in my home again because of this situation."
Mhm.
Um, I feel that I did the right thing to protect my wife, my brother. I love my brother-in-law and my niece and some of my nieces. They're wonderful people. And my brother-in-law stood by my side, and he said, "You did the right thing, Bob. We know what's happening. We see it." And that's some of the culture I don't like, is how there's going to be one or two of them who are insidious.
Mhm.
They want to tear down what my wife and I have. Am I do you understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand that
Yeah.
because this is, this is the problem, but in my case, I don't, I don't experience that, but I can see, I can see on that. It's just like, jealous, jealous.
Yes.
So that's, the jealous thing,
Mhm.
especially, for those, the family that they saw you and your wife, you're doing good. Okay, so there's,
Yes.
there's a person that, there's a greed, there's a personal interest on you, because they can see that, there's a money on you, there's a money on
Yes.
you. And then
Mhm.
that's what, that's what, because, they testing you if you're, if you're, if you're strong enough to stand the
Yes.
marriage. Okay,
Mhm.
so if they saw that you're not strong enough to stand with your wife, they're
Mhm.
gonna keep doing that. I'm not saying all Filipinos are like that, but it's just like that's the mentality of Filipino, that the jealousy thing, and then the greed, and they can see money. They're
Mhm.
trying to broke the thing that you build with your partner. So that's
Right.
that's
The part that is hurtful in my heart about that is that family, the family is everything.
mm-hmm,
My wife cannot publicly stand next to me when I forbid these people from coming into my home, because she cannot be seen as ungrateful to the family.
mm-hmm, yeah,
And that's harmful to me, because I need to know that my wife is on my team.
mm-hmm,
Now, in private, my brother-in-law and my wife both told me you did the right thing, Bob. And but they won't say it publicly because they
mm-hmm,
don't want to be looked at as against the family. But to me, I don't care if you're in my family or not. If
yeah,
you're a harmful person, you need to go. And I'm
mm-hmm,
the asshole. I'm the guy who has to be the asshole.
mm-hmm.
And I don't like to be in that position.
Yeah, and then you, because well, me, I'm not the really the type of person that if I, even though if it's my family, and then if I can say that my partner is harm, they will harm. No, I will tell, I will tell strictly on their face, Bob, that no, don't
Hmm.
do this, because this is not, then this is not right. So I
Hmm.
don't, I don't say that. I just be quiet, because I don't want to see, I don't want to see on the eyes of my family or my relatives that I'm against or that, or I'm bad, or so no, no, I'm not, I'm not doing that, because I'm gonna tell, because
Yeah.
no matter what, uh you have the right, because especially that's your, that's your home, that's your, so you have the right, people that you can see that's harmful for you, you have the right to tell this person that you can leave my place, because I'm not
Yeah.
comfortable, I'm not comfortable. But that's the problem, Bob, about when it comes to Filipino, they are saving face,
Yes, that's very,
saving face, that's that's the.
yeah, and keeping up appearances.
Mm-hmm,
Those saving face and keeping up appearances has broken up more marriages with Western people than anything else,
mm-hmm,
because the Filipinos will lie right to your face.
yeah,
They'll lie to you
mm-hmm,
to protect their family and keeping up appearances. Um, I am extremely honest, and if I don't like you, I will tell you to your face, I don't like you.
yeah. So there's
But
no, there's no.
Filipinos won't do that.
Yeah,
even though it will, in long term, will do their marriage harm.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have got to fix that. You guys have got to get out of the 12th century and move into current times.
Yeah.
When Auntie so and so is doing you harm in your marriage, you've got to change that. Hello,
Mm.
Sharon. I
Hi,
watch
Sharon.
your your channel, Sharon. But you guys have got to get out of that mentality. You have
Yeah,
to.
but I think, I'm one of those that, I'm one of those Filipina that, I'm not really into the saving face, like, like you said,
Yeah.
Bob, that,
Mm.
if I don't like you, I will tell you straight on your face. I don't care if you accept that or not, but I will tell you that, I'm not comfortable dealing with you. My life is in danger with you. So, but
Yeah.
that's the majority, that's the problem also, because a lot of Filipino, they knows that's very harmful, especially if you're a couple, but they're trying to be nice on the eyes of their families, or the eyes of their relatives. But I'm not that type of person, Bob. So
I look at um, it's deep programming in your culture that begins at birth.
mm,
You people, you Filipinos, are taught from day one. You owe me your life. You owe me everything.
yeah,
And
that
it's narcissistic abuse is what it is, because you're programming your children to be good soldiers to support all these deadbeats. And that's what a lot of Filipinos are. They're deadbeats. They don't work. They constantly have their hand out, and I see it constantly. Like a young lady will grow up in the province, and she'll have to move to the city to find work, and she'll as soon as she arrives in that city, the family is pounding on her. Remember, you owe me your life. Send money now. But mom, I have nothing to eat. I'm sleeping on a sidewalk. Send money now. And you guys have to fix that. You guys, not us foreigners. I
mm-hmm,
think that that is narcissistic abuse. That
yeah.
is that is programming that you've got to drop. You've got to walk away from that. And it takes time and it takes maturity to walk away from it. But I can't I see it. These young people go to the city to try to find work, and they're getting text messages, Papa needs beer, send money now.
Yeah, that's the problem also when it comes to that mindset of Filipino, because it's
Uh-huh.
just like for the children, it's just like instead of dealing their future, they have to stop dealing with their future, but they have to go back to their parents. Okay, how to support their
Hmm.
parents financially. So that's the problem, that
It
the
affects it affects marriages with foreigners. It
yeah.
really does.
Mhm.
Um, can I give you a personal example?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we've been married for 16 years, been with her for 20. And one day our power was turned off. And here in the States, our power bill
Mm,
was shut off. So I went to my
okay.
wife, my wife handles the money. I said, "What the hell's going on? I know we've got money to pay the power bill." "Oh, well, we got a little behind." And it took me this happened more than once, that the power was turned off because we couldn't
Oh,
afford to pay the power bill. "Where's the money?" And she'd just sit there quietly. "Where's the money? What is happening? You need to be honest with me. Tell me." I noticed a connection. As soon as her dad would call her, weeks later, the power's turned off.
so it means that she sent money to her dad.
Everything that we had to support Papa. Papa had not held down a job for 40 years. 40 years. The guy sat in front of the house and drank beer. He also had a girlfriend. He was giving a lot of money to his mistress.
My goodness. That's,
And
that's ridiculous.
and my wife would accept that and abuse our family here in the States to support this deadbeat. And that's what he was. He was a fucking deadbeat. He had not held a job for 40 years. And I asked him once, face to face, why haven't you held a job? Oh, too expensive for transportation. So I said, so you force your children to work for you because you don't want to go out and work. Oh, well, of course, I'm the bad guy. But I was man to man, eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
You're harming your children and their marriages
Right.
because you want to have your girlfriend and your other family and your beer every day. Of course, I was the bad guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy. When you're harming me and my kids because you have a second family and you want to drink beer all day. You know how I fix that? Here's a tip to some of the foreign guys who are looking at marrying a Filipino. I found an older Filipino man that I worked with because she would not listen to me at all. Her
Okay.
loyalty is to her deadbeat dad. I brought an old Filipino guy from my work, and I brought him home. I said, this is Mr. Pascal. He wants to speak with you. And so he had to sit down with my wife and I walked out. I let them talk.
Mm.
He educated her that you must take care of your family in the US first. Second is the family back home. Because I told him everything. I haven't had a new pair of shoes in 6 years. We're not paying our bills anymore because of deadbeat back in Davao. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it got it fixed. It took another Filipino to talk to her to convince her that you need to take care of your family in the US first. Then she stopped. The bullshit stopped.
Yeah.
If he had not taken the time to come over and talk to my wife, we would be divorced. Plain and
Mm-hmm.
simple. It would have ruined our marriage. An old deadbeat back there would still be getting his beer and money for his second family. And those are just the facts, guys.
Yeah, that, that's that's the problem between, the well, I'm not saying all Filipino family are like that, but
No.
some, they do. That's,
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem, that if you're not really, if you're not really strong enough, to stand with your partner. Yeah, it's easy, it's easy to broke the marriage thing, Bob,
It
because that.
happens. It happens. Yeah, it does. Like the Canadian right there. Keep that in mind. What I just said about bringing another Filipino over to talk to your wife. When that happens, do that.
Yeah.
An older Filipino, a guy or a girl,
Hmm.
and that's what saved my marriage.
Yeah, because
Because otherwise, I was going to just screw you and I'm out of here. It happens a lot, you know, and it's
you,
and it's
you
from it's from narcissistic abuse from childhood programming from birth. The people back in the Philippines destroy marriages abroad, and they don't care. They don't care if your marriage is over. They don't care if their daughter's heart is broken, as long as they get their money and they get their beer.
yeah,
Just straight
because
talk.
yeah, because it's just like, for Filipino, especially for Filipino family, once, once the a child made money, it's just like, the parent is just like, okay, so it's your turn, it's your turn, to take care of us, because
Mm.
we already done take care of, you. So that's, that's the mentality that I don't really like that because it never happened to us, Bob. Imagine we're all nine girls, okay? So
Hmm.
my parents don't tell us, they need money. So it's just like for them, they just wait. If we can give them money, it's okay. But if we don't, they don't really mind because they said that, especially if you have work or job, you start
Yeah.
to build your own, so that's yours. Okay, so if there's something that you gave us, okay, we're happy, but you don't need to obligate to give us money for that. So some Filipino parents, they don't really think that way. It's just like, okay,
Yeah.
they just, okay, I need money, but they don't really look, the big picture about,
Right.
the things that, what's this the person doing, especially that. This is what I noticed. You're right, Bob, that a lot of Filipino family, especially when they are married to foreign men or Western men, it's just like they think that you're a millionaire. So
Yeah.
anything that they ask,
Those
money, money, and then if you don't give them money, they just
then
mad
the,
at you.
then you then you're ungrateful to the family. Now
Yeah,
that is a fucking narcissist. That is an
yeah,
extremely selfish person. They're very dangerous people because they will
mhm,
destroy everyone and everything around them to get what they want, not what they need, but to get what they want. You have to move away from those people. You have to, or else they'll destroy you. They'll tear you down, and you're broke and you're living on the sidewalk and still working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And they'll blame you because you're not grateful to the family. You guys,
mhm,
that happens a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So
People are,
yeah.
some people on both sides of the ocean are monsters, and they will destroy your life to get what you have, and it doesn't bother them. Yeah, I summed up her dad a long time ago. You're a fucking deadbeat. You're a deadbeat. And he abuses his children to send him money for his girlfriends and for his beer.
Mhm. So that's
Now,
kind of that's kind of a scary thing when it comes to for Filipina, especially the Filipina is I can feel you, Bob, that you don't really okay, wait, is my wife will stand on me or she will stand on her family. So it's just like you don't really know where you're gonna stand for. So that's
mm,
quite scary. It's quite scary, even though that's your wife or your husband. If this person or will not stand on you, so it's a threat. It's a threat
yeah,
on
it is a threat. Yeah. But I know that my wife loves me, and through all this bullshit that we've gone through, she's still with me.
you. Yeah.
She
So
she loves me, and she wants to keep she and I together, and we have been all throughout all this stuff. Yeah.
hmm
Now, I'm I okay. There are two groups of people in the Philippines that I have no problem giving money to: the senior citizens,
okay,
the good
right.
ones, okay, the
Mhm.
good ones, and the university studies. No problem. Whatever you need. We've educated almost all of our nieces. No problem. We'll get you educated so you can get yourself out. But that paycheck is if you drop out of the university, your paycheck ends. I made that very clear to them. You need to work your ass off, get educated, because as soon as you are educated and we can get you to an embassy to get you to out of there, the paycheck ends. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
once again, a Filipino will not say that, but I will, and I've told the girls that as soon as you get to the embassy and you get out and you go start earning good money, you're on your own. We're not going to help you anymore.
Okay, so let me read this, Bob. Canadian bread and Philippine honey. It is a complicated situation. Family banding together is an absolute
Necessary.
necessity
Hmm.
in the Philippines as the matter of survival.
Hmm.
Right.
Right. That's true. I agree with that because I've seen some pretty god awful things. I've been going to the Philippines for 20 years now. So I've seen some families that are in horrible situations. And but the the deep childhood programming of you belong to me, you are my property and you will support me. You all have to grow up and start walking away from that. Because if someone's a deadbeat and they're going to be you're going to have to support them for the rest of your life and it affects your home where you live now, get away from them as much as you can. Don't go visit them again. Maybe send them a little bit of money, stay the fuck away from them because they're not going to help you. Because when you
Yeah.
need help, they're not going to help you.
Yeah. Because some people, particularly my people, Bob, once you help, they just really think that you're gonna help for the rest of their lives. Okay. So
Yep.
it's just, that's a mentality that, you can't avoid, on the mentality
Hmm.
of Filipino. It's just
Yeah.
like, you teach them how to fish, but,
Yeah.
they
Hmm.
don't want to fish. Okay, they just want to take the
There's
fish.
a and when you get a few narcissists in your family, now you're in trouble because then they'll slander you because you can't afford to send. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll he or she is ungrateful to the
Yeah.
family.
Mm-hmm.
Ungrateful to the family. No, it's because you're a freaking deadbeat. You won't go find a
Exactly.
job,
Yeah.
and oh, you're ungrateful. I did have an eye to eye with her dad once, man to man. Dude, you've been living off of other people's incomes for the last 40 years. I know what you are. And, eventually he passed away and bye. Yeah.
Okay, so let me read this from Chris. Is some Filipinos I personally know have no problem lying.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Gambling. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Lying
Yeah.
to their husband abroad to get
Hmm.
more funds so they
Hmm.
can gamble and drink and their friends
Yeah.
while the foreign man is working in butt off. Yeah. That's why, here's the thing, Bob, that, this is for, Western men, especially on the dating site, or, online dating. So don't send money to a Filipina unless you met that, okay,
Yeah.
and then you know that this Filipina is serious, because a lot of Western men, they just send money that without knowing this person, and then
Hmm.
once the relationship is fucked up, they get furious. So whose fault is that?
Yeah.
It's
You're,
not.
yeah. Yeah. And the thing that I've been, okay, here's this young lady who's showing her body, doing things for money to foreign guys. And okay, you pay her for showing her boobs or whatever she's doing. She doesn't get any of that money. She doesn't get any. She's the one who has to swallow her pride because to be a good soldier for the family. She doesn't get
Right.
any of that money. It goes to
Mm-hmm.
her drunken mom and dad who can't stay out of the casinos, who are out doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. That's just how it works. So whenever I talk to anybody online and they start asking me for money, I just tell them no. I don't owe you a damn thing. No.
Yeah, that's I don't listen learn from those Western people, not only in Philippines, but part of Southeast Asia, that
Mhm.
don't send money to a woman that you don't never know in person. Just that online, so that's not really, smart idea to
It's not smart. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But I've been in a relationship with my wife now for 20 years, and it you have it's like putting out fires. You understand that for 20 years, and she'll never tell her relatives no.
Yeah, I think.
It's that childhood programming that they beat into their heads. No, you're ungrateful to the family. But and I'm the asshole. And you guys who are out there looking to marry a Filipina, you better step up and be strong and be direct with them. We don't have enough to eat at my house. Why should I give you money so you can have a party for your neighborhood friends? No, you're not getting it. You have to be strong. You have to, or else your marriage is over.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a scary thing.
hmm I,
Okay,
I, I, I'm sorry. It's a sad topic, but some of these young guys
yeah,
out here
no, that's,
listening should hear this. You should hear this.
actually, Bob, that's a good, thing that we can discuss online, so that some of Western men married to a Filipina, that they can learn about that. Hi, Scott. Thank you for coming, Scott.
Yeah. But even after you're married and you bring her to your home country, she's going to get pounded on, and it never stops for her. It never stops. And just try to separate yourself from the harmful people back in the Philippines. Try to separate them. And well, I'll give you an example of what happened a few years ago. As you know, we got a retirement house, and in our in Davao,
Okay.
and it was our first visit there. The house is brand new, and I told the two oldest nieces, please come and stay with us. And one of the nieces, she is the most superb human being. She's a registered nurse. She's an awesome lady. The other one comes from the poor end of the family. I thought it would be a nice treat for her to come and stay in a brand new house. She lives in a squatters area.
Okay.
Okay. What happened was, I know that her side of the family wants to get money from me or from our marriage. Okay.
Mm, okay.
I'm sure her mom sent her in to say, go sleep with Uncle Bob and get money. I'm not dumb. Okay. And she hit on me more than once for sex.
My God.
So, yeah. And watch their families, guys. If you're listening, their families will do that. They'll send in a pretty young lady to seduce you, to get for pregnancy, for instant cash, whatever. They'll do that. A narcissistic mom or dad will send their daughters in to have sex with you for the family. Yeah. So I took that young lady aside, and I made sure that Ate, the niece that I really love and trust, was with me and her at all times. All
Mm-hmm.
times. Ate was next to me at all times as a witness, because I knew how treacherous this other one was.
Okay.
So I took that one who was sent to seduce me, and I told her, look, I know your situation and I know what's going on. You're welcome to stay here, eat with us, all that, but this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen between you and me. It's not going to happen. Tell your mom that Uncle Bob's not falling for it. And everything was fine and good until we returned back in April. And in April, since I didn't fall for it, we all went on different vacations together. And that young lady as soon as I would speak to her on any topic, she'd scream in my face, "No! No! No!" And I went to my brother-in-law, who I trust absolutely, and I said, "Do you see what she's doing? Do you see this, bro?" He goes, "Yeah, I see that." So after we got back to our house, I forbid her and her family from coming into my home ever again because
Yeah,
she's
because
being disrespectful to me,
yeah,
and she did it in front. So that's part of the family that I went. You and your siblings are never allowed in my house ever again. Done deal. Cut them off. You know.
yeah. That's that's the right thing you did, Bob, because it's not it's not really safe for those for those people.
No.
Because I can't imagine, imagine, that's actually that's the relatives of your wife.
Yes.
Why this, why these people think that way towards you? They don't really care about, the your wife, because it's their relatives that, they don't really mind if, the marriage thing will,
Right.
broke up.
Right.
So
Right.
that's,
They-
that's that's ridiculous. So if that,
These are harmful people.
yeah, if I know that person, I don't, that's right, you don't need to hang with them because your life is in danger.
And and because of that childhood programming, the family is everything. The family is you owe me everything. She didn't handle the situation. I had to. She would just sit there and quietly and witness what's happening and just not back me up. I you guys have got to fix that part of your culture. You have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, well, I've done the same stuff with my American family here in the U.S. When they're a harmful person, you go and you don't come back.
You're not welcome in my house.
Yep, I've done that with my relatives here in the U.S. too. Yeah, the same thing. You're a harmful person. You're a druggie, whatever. You're a liar. You're a thief. Go, and you don't come back. I've done that with Filipinos, and I've done that with Americans too, on this equal and level.
Yeah. So that's that's the thing that I hate those people that you mentioned, a liar and a thief. So that's that's stay away that stay
Uh
away that
huh.
kind of person, because no matter how good you are, they're gonna still do bad towards
Yeah,
you.
yeah, and I think it's just horrible. They know their action would have affected my marriage with my loving wife, and they don't care.
Mm. Yeah,
They don't
because like
care.
like I mentioned, Bob, that they get jealous, and then
Hmm.
they can say that there's a money on you, that they really want to get that from you. So they
Yes.
don't really care. They don't really care about the part of a part of your wife, because it's just like
No.
on their eyes, they just want to get the money. The greed. The greed.
Greed. Uh huh. It's greed. Yeah, it's greed. And what a lot of them don't understand is that how hard we work to get our money here in the U.S. We
Yeah.
go to work. We go to work every day and do
Mm-hmm.
jobs that we don't want to do and sacrifice a lot to support our family. And they don't see that because it doesn't matter to them as long as they get what they want, as long as they can get their beer money and their girlfriend money and whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Stay.
that's the problem, that mentality of Filipino. They think that foreign people are all rich. No, it's not, because
No.
why they have that money. They work hard for that. Sometimes they miss their they miss their lunch. Sometimes they miss their snack,
Hmm.
or breakfast, for that, just to have that, because
Yeah.
if you're lazy in the states, you end up homeless.
Correct.
You end up
Yeah.
living on the street. So they
Yeah.
don't really they don't really understand that, Bob, because
Hmm.
on their mind that it's just like, for Filipino, I'm, for those, Filipino that, know educated, they understand that, that kind of scenario, Bob. But for those people that living in the remote area, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
especially that, you met this innocent,
Hmm.
loving and friendly Filipina, and their family, they don't understand that where you came from, and then they think that, oh, I can ask money because, he's rich, he's foreigner. So they never think that these foreign people is same as Filipino. The only
Yeah.
difference is, the salary. See, they work hard for that money, and they
Hmm.
work hard, like Filipino. So
Yeah.
they don't really understand that, in the mentality of, Filipino. Okay, let me read this from
Okay.
Frank. I had to make the clear to everyone that I know I do not loan money to anyone, because I will not go to a prison over my own money. I will take.
Bingo. Hmm.
Yeah, that's, that's the good thing. Okay, from Chris, one of my close family friends is an accountant, and he has the several brothers and sister who have not had work for several years, and they
Be right
just
back.
a leech from him. He pay us their bill and allowance. Oh, that's crazy. That's why, here's the problem, that I can't really blame some Western people. They tell that, once you marry to a Filipina, you marry the whole family. I'm not saying all, but, some they do that, because some they don't really understand that this foreign men also work. It doesn't mean that this, he has work, he's rich. Of course, he has bills also to pay. So some Filipino, they don't really understand that situation. It's just like in their mind, okay, this foreign, as long as they know that that person is a foreigner, they think that's is rich. That's, that's that's crazy. Hello, Scott. From Chris. Hello, Scott. In the world, I say it. Uh, Let me read this. Canadian bread and Filipino honey. I fear mixing not possible. The resources are not there. I believe the Philippines' greatest source are its people. Well, it's just like Canadian, this is, this is the thing that, we're not generalized, okay? We're not generalized Filipino people, okay? But, I do believe that, what Bob mentioned, it's just like it happens on his um, life. This is real, happen on his life. Okay, but, I'm not generalized that, all Filipino are doing that. Some they do what, what the relatives of Bob's wife did that to him. Okay, Kuya Joey, thank you for coming, Kuya Joey. Hiya, hiya sa lakas ng loob. And the Bayanihan spirit is the culture of Filipino. Kapwa is the culture. There is no distinct difference in the mentality.
Hmm.
Well, Kuya Joey Page, there's, there's a difference of mentality, because, like Filipino, I'm talking this about average Filipino. Once they know that, especially for those parents that they, their daughter have a foreign boyfriend, they think that this foreign man is rich. Okay, so
Mm.
that's, that's the difference of mentality of, in other, like Western mentality, because some Filipino, they think that. That's why it's, like it's kids, or uh children program, to be, responsible for their parents. So that's the only thing that I don't really agree about, that because it never
Yeah.
happened to my, to my parents. Some parents, they do that
Hmm.
because it's just like, uh, once their children is grown, it's just like, just they shown that, this children is their parents, is their responsibility. Okay, so instead that, they have to be responsible for their future, they don't think that way. So it's just like, parents, Filipino parents, I'm not saying all, okay, I'm not saying all, but majority of Filipino parents, they think that these children, when they grown, the responsibility of parents will shoulder with their children. So that's the mentality that, uh until now it still exists.
It sure does. It does. Um, yeah, and you guys have to fix that yourselves. Foreigners can't.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have to fix that. And um,
I think,
yeah,
I believe also, Bob, that, should, the important is, education, for,
yes,
for people, because no matter how no matter how you tell the people, if they're not really in, if they're not educated, they don't really understand, the logic that you're gonna, discuss with this kind of scenario. So they don't
mhm,
really get, in fact, they will get furious on you because you interfere their decision. So that's the problem is, people should, must educate themselves. So if they're, if especially now that, young people are very lazy, to learn, instead go online, to learn something. They
mhm,
just go there, to go search something that, they make fun, how to go this, how to make myself, uh uh invading, instead, going to the online, to learn, to find information, how to improve their self, how to educate their self. So some, they do, but some, they don't really serious about that. So until now that, that the program that, the children must uh turn over, the responsibility of parents once they grown. So it still exists because that's the Filipino mentality, that they have to program on the mind of their children. So
mhm.
it's just like, it's a big um adjustment, especially, for those, Filipino that are married to a Western people. When it comes to that, it's a big issue in the marriage thing, Bob, because the Filipino, like, they don't really understand what you're trying to tell. This is not the best thing. You don't have to do that, because you're married. But they don't really understand that, because our mind is really programmed on that. So
It
it's
starts from
quite,
birth. Hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's hard to deal. So like I said that, uh I admire, because for how many years that you've been married, you've been married to your Filipino wife, you're still there on her.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
some, if that kind of situation that you mentioned about, the problem that, the relatives of your wife dealing with you, some Filipino will give up,
Yep.
and they cannot stand about that. But it's just like, great good thing that, you're there, to educate
Hmm.
her, um talk with, what other people, to talk, to explain to her that, that's a good side of you, because some men, they don't really, okay, if you don't, if you're tired of that, they just easy for them, to leave.
Yeah, my wife and I, she's still with me. She loves
Hmm.
me and she respects me,
Hmm.
and I have to be the asshole. I have to, because she won't, against the family.
Yeah, because if you're not being an asshole,
Hmm.
she won't look the the difference. So it's
Yeah,
just like, for her, it just keep doing, if you're gonna be quiet about that, she will
yeah,
keep
I won't be.
doing that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. She won't go against the family. I
Mm-hmm.
will. I will. And I protect my wife and I protect our family that we have together. And that's what you foreign guys have to understand. If you don't do it, if you don't protect your Filipina, she will be consumed and heartbroken when you leave. And
Yeah.
they don't care. And some of the people back home, they don't care. All they
Mm-hmm.
care about is money, 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 money. And most of the time, the money goes into beer, it
Mm-hmm.
goes into alcohol. But you have to be the man and you have to step up and go directly to the problem, the person who is the problem. And you're going to hurt feelings, but oh well, you're already hurting her feelings and mine. Okay. And
Yeah.
you have to be very direct. You're not doing this to my wife anymore. I know what you're doing and you're harming us. And I can't allow you to be a harmful person in my marriage. Bye. Get lost. You know, you got to be the asshole sometimes. You do. If not, it's going to destroy your marriage and your own home.
Yeah, exactly. Because especially now that, the social media is rampant,
Hmm.
to to ruin the relationship, with with your partner. So it's just like, you have to stand on that. Okay, you have to stand that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But my favorite niece, the nurse, as soon as she gets here to the states and starts bringing in income, then our obligation ends.
Hmm.
She will be the one to take care of her mom and dad and her sisters.
Yeah.
Our obligation ends right there. My British brother-in-law asked me directly when he and I were outside smoking, Bob, when does all of this end? Because I guess his wife sends everything they earn back home,
Hmm.
and he goes, when does this all end? I said, when you say it ends. Your wife won't do it. You have to do it.
Yeah, it's just like, I understand that, sometimes, in emergency, you need, but you
I
don't use that a habit.
Yeah, because every week there's another emergency. Oh, there's a hole in the wall. We have there's a hole in the roof. It's like, yeah, yeah. It's not
So,
always an emergency. It's usually because they want to show off that they're getting money, that they have wealth, and have a party for everyone in the neighborhood, which they can't afford to do, but they do it. It's like it's a different mentality than the West. I
yeah,
have no ob- I have no obligation to my neighbors here. None.
yeah.
I don't have to invite you over to eat all the food in my house and buy you all beer. They do that over there. Which is like, y'all need to stop doing that, because your neighbors are not going to say no when they can get free beer and food.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hmm.
So it's just like, that's the mentality of Filipino.
Hmm.
So.
That's that's part of that not saving face so much. It's keeping up appearances.
Mhm.
Can we go into that topic a little bit? That's something that you guys, you Filipinos, need to change. Keeping up appearances, and it's part of saving face. Example is, okay, we just got back from Davao, and my sister-in-law, who lives in England, who's married to my brother-in-law Gary, she's constantly doing that, constantly, always. Okay, this is why eventually I stopped going with the family to these different events. I stop and I stay at home and I work on my house because I maintain the house. She has never stopped doing that. Never. She will never stop doing that, and her husband won't put his foot down and put a stop to it. You know, every day, and I mean every day that they're over at our house in Davao, we've got to go on an adventure. We got to get those selfies out at some beach resort. We've got to get those selfies. It's keeping up appearances.
Yeah, show post on Facebook that show
Yes.
the friends that
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
that's
Yes.
crazy.
It's ridiculous. They can't
Mm-hmm.
afford to do this. Gary and Beyond cannot afford to do this. They're putting it all on a credit card to do this every day. That they, for God's sakes, they grew up in Davao. They all did. They've all been to the restaurants. They've all been to the little beach resorts, and they keep going back again and again and again. Oh, it's called family bonding. No, it's not. The deep root of it is called keeping up appearances. That we're so rich, we live in England. Oh, look, I'm having another glass of wine
Yeah,
that
that's
you that
it.
you that you can't afford. I know they're putting it all on credit cards because Gary and Beyond
Yeah.
don't earn the pay that we get here in the U.S. I have an
Mm-hmm.
idea of what their income is, and it's not very much. But that keeping up appearances will damage your marriage. Now, during all of this, my wife goes with them. She can't say no. She
Mm-hmm.
can't say no. Um, but they came to me every day. Let's go to. No, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to sweep the concrete and I'm going to do some painting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Come on. No, I'm maintaining this building that we have because if I don't do it, it will fall into ruin.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not. And what got me, there's next time we go, I'm not going to be, my wife is going to arrange it to where I'm not with Biong and Gary anymore because of her sister. Her sister, okay, I'll give you one example. I had the option to be able to stay longer in Davao. I can because I get a 1 year visa as soon as we get to the airport. And I was teetering. I was thinking I could stay longer and work on the house some more, but eventually I decided, nah, I'm just going to go. I belong with my wife. We'll come back to the States together. And here comes her sister, who's that's why one of the reasons why my wife is separating me from her sister.
Mm-hmm.
She came to me and she says, "No, you need to stay longer here in Davao." Uh, why? Why do I need to do that? Now, think of this. She's 30 years younger than me. Okay.
She's single.
Now she's married. She's married to the Englishman
Okay.
who does all the keeping up appearances. So they're
Mm,
going into
okay.
debt doing this.
Okay.
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 She's
Okay.
30. She is 30 years younger than me, telling me what to do.
Mm,
Like, no, this ain't working. So the one of the last times she tried to manipulate me to do what she wanted me to do. Well, you should stay here in Davao longer. Why? I can't get the tools. I can't get the stuff that I need to maintain the house. So why should I stay here? Well, so that you can get to know the expats in the complex where you live. Why should I get to know them? I said, I've met quite a few, I've talked to quite a few, but I don't need to stay here with them. I know my own country. Most of them are Americans. I said, I know my own countrymen. I don't need to do this. No, I'm not staying. Yeah, but you should do. And I said, I gave you my decision. End this. But she did that every single time she wanted me to go with them to some other place that we've already been to. How many times? You need to go. You need to go. No, I don't. Well, you should because, and I would have to end it going, I already told you what I'm going to do. This conversation is closed. It's that manipulation. That's why
Mm-hmm.
she's keeping me away from her sister from now on, because she sees trouble is coming, and it
Mm.
already has between
Yeah.
her and I. Well, I told you about the one niece that was sent in to seduce me.
Mm-hmm.
So after that happened, I had a family sit down, the adults only. And I said, this happened, and my decision is to keep her away from my house. She's not allowed in my house again. That same sister that lives in England exploded. You can't do that. You can't do that. This is my family. And I said, yes, it's your family, but this is my house. And she went nuts. And behind her is my wife sitting there very quiet, listening. And I looked at my wife while she's screaming in my face. A woman who's 30 years younger than me, she's screaming in my face. And I looked at my wife. I said, "Are you hearing this, hon? Are you hearing this? Listen to what she's doing. It reminds me of my brother and his wife, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
hearing this." And she's still screaming in my face that I need to let this young lady back in my house. This is a woman who does not have my best interest at heart. She is dominating, she's domineering, and she wants to manipulate my home. That's why my wife made a decision when we returned home that she's not going to pair me up with her little sister anymore.
So,
So you
okay,
see
so that's that's kind of scary.
that's true, Frank. I am a man with a pair. I've got a pair of balls. Yeah. But yeah, that's why she's separating me from her sister.
Mm.
I see the deeper meaning of it all is that she is also envious of what we have, and she wouldn't mind splitting my wife and I up so she can move into our house with her sister.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's a deep uh, because they live in England. They're both alcoholics, and
mm,
her husband has told me several times they have no savings. They have they have nothing to retire on. And that's when I figured it out. She's trying to split my wife and I up so she can move in with my wife and get me out of the picture. You guys who are looking at marrying a Filipina, you're going to come up against these same situations yourself.
yeah. Okay, so I'm just curious, Bob. Once this, the sisters, the sisters of your wife that sending a woman that trying to seduce you. Did you tell that in your wife after that incidents
I
happened?
did. The whole family. I sat all of the family down, the adults.
So what's
This
their
happened.
reaction?
They all sat there quietly, other than the sister who screamed in my face and told me that I can't forbid her from coming in my house. And that's when I looked at my wife and I said, "Are you hearing what she's doing? Are you hearing this, hon? Are you listening to what she's doing?" My whole family saw this. My whole family. I told them that this is why she was sent over here, was to seduce me, and I think it's because of money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when
Yeah.
the younger sister that lives in England has the same agenda, and I'm pretty sure she was involved in it. You see, I mean, I'm not dumb, and I will not allow anyone to split up my marriage. Now, my brother-in-law is a guy I respect a great deal. He and I were in the car later, and he goes, "Bob, bro, you did the right thing. You did. Protect your family. Protect your family at all costs." Because he saw what was happening, and he's on my side. He goes, "Bro, you did the right thing."
Yeah.
So this is now we're to the next stage. It's all a slow progression of separating the harmful people away from my wife and I. And this time, my wife made the decision to not put me in the same building with her sister, because she sees what's happening. But
Yeah,
she has
because
she has to be careful because of the whole family. The family is everything programming.
yeah, because it's kind of a risky, when it
Mhm.
comes to that, because, do you think that, the family, I can see that, you don't allow
No.
the family of your wife that, disrespect you. So of
Yes.
course, that, well, they have also attitude. This is the thing also, Bob, that I noticed, that a lot of Filipino, because they think that, okay, you're here in my country, so you have no right, to act like that. There's
Yeah.
there's a mentality of Filipino. It's just like, they think that, you're here in the Philippines. It's just like you just go on the flow what they're doing. So they don't understand that, uh, Western people are very, are very vocal,
Hmm.
very straight to the point. We're just, we
Yes.
just a lot of Filipino, they're just making drama, a
Hmm.
lot of drama, full of drama. Then to the straight, you know, straight, talk straight on that person that, oh, you're doing bad, and I don't really like the way the way you treated me, the way that you act. So
Yeah.
Filipino, they
They
don't that.
won't do that. They won't do that, and they
Mhm.
should. They should be more assertive. They really should be. Yeah. But that takes time. That takes years of deprogramming to be able to do that. And in the meantime, with my wife and I'm blame me. Blame me. Okay. I have broad shoulders. I'm the asshole. Blame me. Go ahead. Don't fuck with my wife. Blame me. I'll do
Mhm.
this. I'll take the blame. You know. But yeah, thanks for that, Canadian. Canadian says, thank you, Canadian bred in Filipina. Thank you. This is the best conversation I've heard on this topic.
Yeah.
I hope I don't interrupt you, Miss Lil, but
No, no, no,
these are
no,
some of the things.
Bob.
These are some of the hard topics that you guys who are courting a Filipina need to hear.
Yeah,
You're
because
going to you're going to run into these situations yourself. You know.
yeah, I just really like this kind of conversation, because this is fact. Okay,
Mhm.
it's not Hershey's, or so this is real.
Mhm.
So those, people on the live chat, they all Western people. Okay, and I know Canadian bread, honey, it's almost coming here in the Philippines, to visit his fiancee, Mia.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that, the family of, Mia is this, but, we can give idea. Okay, we
Yeah.
can give idea to Canadian bread, if in case that, he saw something, that's similar, the things that, happen in you, Bob. So they can deal with that. So it's just like, if they can't, if we cannot share this, it's just like, okay, they just look like, yes, 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 it's just go on the flow. So they cannot really force their right. because they have no idea. So now
Yeah.
this is, this is a good thing also that, we can talk online, this kind of conversation, Bob. So I,
Mm.
I like it.
I know my wife has mentioned to me many times that she was trained from birth to never say no, never say
Well,
no.
well,
And that's scary.
yeah.
That means that someone who is in your circle can walk all over you because you're not allowed to say no. You know, yeah, that's not right. That's not right. Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, so let me read this, the last. Okay. In the West, we are mainly trapped in the cities. Many have lost the corn, so you speak and totally reliant on the government in a bad times.
Mhm.
Okay, Bob. So we already over 2 hours. So
I'm
I'll
sorry.
give you. What time is there now?
It's 6 p.m. right now.
6 p.m. Okay. So I'll give you a few minutes, few minutes to invite, our viewers, to go on your channel also.
Mhm. Yeah. But these are just experiences that I've had over the last 20 years. Yeah.
Mm,
But on my channel, look up a topic. I have a playlist on there, Flashpoint the Pacific. It's
okay.
where I'm watching what's going on between China and the rest of the world in the Pacific, for the South China Sea. I think you guys should look into this and follow along. The playlist that I've got there, you can subscribe to the channels where I'm getting my information from. And and
Okay.
because if you got a loved one over there in the Philippines, it does involve them because it's right in their back door, you know. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, Bob. I'm very
Mhm.
grateful and honored, to join on my live streaming. So I hope we can do it in next time. So
Okay.
I will end up this conversation because I'm gonna swamped for for the 12 midnight
Oh,
celebration.
okay. All right.
So thank you so much, Bob, and have a good day. And thank you so much for all the viewers on the live chat. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good day and happy New Year to all of you. Bye. Thank you, Bob. I
Bye.
appreciate.
Very, very, yeah. Mhm.